written and in agreement with the House. I hate to go real public with them, but some of what I hear, what I'm going to hear, I expect will be, or has already been discussed as a potential change, and I feel good about that. So with that, Senator Weiner, any opening comments?
I'll leave the time until the end for the people in the room.
Good enough. Senator Westrich?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think this is an important bill, and the reason I'm wanting to look at this bill and talk to our medical professionals is with any procedure that could have serious complications. I think informed consent is very important, and we don't want any unintended consequences. So I do look forward to hearing from those folks that are going to be dealing with this hands-on. So thank you.
If you are online, I see quite a few people on there. After we go through the room, we will go to online input. There's the raise your hand feature there. You'll have to kind of find that and figure out that part before, but start here. And I think this would be and we'll just work around to my right.
Do we need a microphone?
Hey, everybody. Jeff Pitts with the Iowa Faith and Freedom Coalition. We support the bill. This one's pretty simple. Dangerous chemical abortion drugs are coming across Iowa's borders, hurting and killing people, and that needs to stop. So we support the bill. Thanks for bringing it forward.
Hi, I'm Josiah Olson with the Family Leader. We're in support of the bill because we believe it protects women. We have a problem since the Dobbs decision and the passage of Iowa's Part B law. The abortion industry has developed a network of abortion drug dealers that operate outside of the medical system. They'll provide abortion drugs to anyone for little to no fee. Boyfriends who don't want to be a dad, human traffickers who stand to lose money, and anyone can pretty well get these pills. Contrary to the claims of some organizations, these drugs are not safer than Tylenol. Recent studies showed that 1 in 10 women who take abortion drugs suffer an serious adverse event, and many end up in the emergency room. Black market suppliers, unfortunately, don't seem to care and lie if they want to. They should be subject to strict liability and statutory damages. We are thankful that this bill provides an opportunity to women who are harmed to get justice. We also appreciate that this bill helps women who are considering abortion to be able to make an informed choice. Mothers should know about the risks of hemorrhaging, sepsis, and other things. They should know that an incomplete abortion is a very real possibility. And they should know, in the case they change their mind, that hundreds of women have their babies today because a doctor helped them reverse the effects of abortion drugs. This bill is a good step towards protecting women and from the dangers created by the abortion industry, and we encourage you guys to move the bill forward. Thank you.
Sorry, Amy Campbell, registered opposed to the bill. I want to specifically talk about Division 1 with the informed consent. Actually, when I had this out for comment, people said it's more like misinformed consent because there is a lot of information in here that is medically inaccurate, particularly about the reversal that is not backed by science. And it would definitely misinform people. We believe that a physician should be working within their scope of practice, which is ensuring that they are providing fact-based information. And so we would like to see several of those sections removed to have a balanced discussion with a woman who is making this decision. We feel that they being lied to by a physician, which they would not do because that would be against their medical ethics. I think you're putting physicians in a very difficult spot. And so therefore we are opposed to the bill there's other reasons. I also want to say there are many issues with black market drugs, and we are just singling out one here. We would like to see actually a discussion about how we can fix the issue of people getting Viagra and GLP-1s and everything else, opioid substitutes online through black market sources as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Allison Smith, and I am with the Family Planning Council of Iowa. We are also registered against this bill. Family planning providers don't provide abortion, but they're often the first providers to see a patient and confirm their pregnancy. And recently, a provider shared a story with me about a patient who came in and had been bleeding for several days. She knew that she was pregnant, and an ultrasound did confirm this pregnancy. She was concerned about the bleeding. And it was confirmed that there was still cardiac activity. However, the pregnancy was in the cervix. The cervix means that the pregnancy is not viable. And normally that is something that a provider could handle locally. However, in this case, because of the restrictions, the concerns about risk, that patient had to go to Iowa City for care. We strongly want to support our providers. We want providers to have that trusted relationship with their patients. That patient obviously was comfortable with this local provider and their support system was there locally, but they had to make this trip. Increasing restrictions around abortion drugs just makes it more difficult for patients to access the care that they need. I also want to echo Amy's concerns about the abortion reversal that has not been scientifically proven. It's not safe or medically endorsed by any professional medical organizations. We have major concerns with providers being required to provide false information to patients. So thank you, and please vote no.
My name is Kirsten Delgardelle, and I'm the Director of Public Affairs at Planned Parenthood Advocates of Iowa. We champion access to quality health care for patients served by Planned Parenthood North Central States in Iowa. I'm here to oppose SSB 3115. This bill is unnecessary government overreach and interferes with best practices for medical care. Healthcare decisions, including abortion, should be guided by medicine and science, not determined by politicians. SSB 3115 requires a range of state-mandated biased counseling about so-called risks of medication abortion and patient-informed consent provisions related to medication abortion. To be clear, abortion providers help their patients understand the abortion process and offer support throughout the experience. Planned Parenthood North Central States follows a thorough care model for providing and following up with patients who receive medication abortion. This process includes sharing verbal and written information about the procedure, providing patients with a phone number for an on-call nurse, and completing direct follow-up both 1 week and 4 weeks after the procedure. Providers do this in good faith, knowing that every method of abortion, including medication abortion, is exceptionally safe, far safer than pregnancy, safer than childbirth, and safer than routine procedures such as colonoscopy. Professional medical organizations like American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists agree that medication abortion is safe and effective. It has been used by over 7.5 million patients in the US since it was approved by the FDA over 25 years ago. But this bill ignores decades of science, medicine, and patient experiences. Instead, SSB 3115 requires additional reporting by medication abortion providers on so-called adverse events. It's clear these proposed requirements are simply an attempt by advocates obsessed with banning abortion to justify their unsubstantiated and medically inaccurate belief that abortion is dangerous. SSB 3115 is medically unnecessary and provides no benefit to patients. For those reasons, we respectfully urge the committee to oppose SSB 3115. Thank you.
I'm the Reverend Paul Jeanette from the Episcopal Diocese of Iowa, and we stand against this bill for all the reasons already mentioned, but also from our baptismal covenant, which says we respect the dignity and decisions of every human being. And that gives the opportunity for everyone to have a conversation and have the opportunities for this conversation as well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Laura Blaser. I'm a resident of Palo Alto County. I consider myself very lucky to live close to a very good hospital. Other folks in the surrounding areas have to wait over 40 minutes at times for an ambulance just to reach them. This bill is going to be not only detrimental to women in the ways other more credible people have, especially to rural women who really rely on remote care and being able to contact their physicians and have their trust. And this bill is just really invading the doctor-patient relationship. Thank you.
My name is Tom Chapman. I'm the director of the Iowa Catholic Conference. We support the bill. Every medication abortion takes the life of an unborn child. The FDA still recommends against purchasing abortion drugs online. Obviously, our group doesn't support abortion, but it seems best for women to see a medical professional before taking these pills. It does, in our view, it doesn't interfere with the doctor-patient relationship. It actually requires one. The FDA has cited studies that indicate 85% of women who take abortion drugs will suffer at least one adverse reaction, and about 1 in 25 will end up in the emergency room. I think there's a lot of question about how accurate these figures are. Well, let's find out. That's what the reporting regime in this bill is about. More than 2/3 of abortions in Iowa are through pills, very available online cheaply. This fact makes the law and the obligation to inform even more important. We think it also makes sense for the mother to be pointed to the HHS website to learn more about the reversal process, which does take place if she has changed her mind. Thank you.
My name is Maggie DeWitty, Executive Pulse Life Advocates and spokesman for the Coalition of Pro-Life Leaders. We are in support of this bill, and thank you, Senator Schultz, for bringing this forward. The abortion pill is a dangerous drug that harms women and ends the life of an unborn child. There are 3 parts of this bill I wanted to comment on. First, while we would support taking this drug completely off the market, in the meantime, we want some common sense safeguards to ensure the safety of women who are ingesting this drug. When this was first introduced in 2000, it required 3 in-person visits, could only be dispensed by a physician, and required follow-up and reporting. Now, this drug has virtually no restrictions and can be shipped through the mail directly to the woman's home with no oversight or physical examination from a doctor. This bill would restore some of the initial safeguards, such as an in-person physical examination by a physician. Second, as some of my colleagues have already stated, the Ethics and Public Policy Center revealed that 1 in 10 women who take this drug will experience a severe adverse event. In fact, this is so dangerous, and it's over 22 times higher than was originally reported by the FDA. The claims that this is safe as Tylenol are absurd. This is a physical issue, but also a psychological and emotional issue, because the abortion industry is not preparing these women for the reality of what they will witness, their dead baby, oftentimes in the toilet. They are alone and traumatized when they go through this process. This bill would require physicians to provide information regarding the risks and complications that can occur when taking this drug. Lastly, women need to have the information, including the possibility that she can reverse this process if she changes her mind. Abortion pill reversal uses natural progesterone that has been safely and effectively used to support female reproductive health since the 1950s. This is used to counter the abortion drug and sustain a pregnancy. It has a 68% success rate in saving babies' lives. The Abortion Pill Rescue Network reported 3,000 lives were saved via the abortion pill reversal. This network is managed by Heartbeat International, one of the largest networks of pregnancy help organizations in the world, and has over 1,000 medical providers that facilitate this abortion pill reversal. Thank you again for bringing this forward, and we encourage your strong support.
Hi, I'm Bridget Fagan-Reedburn, Associate Director of the Interfaith Alliance of Iowa Action Fund, and I'm here to read a statement from our Executive Director and lobbyist Connie Ryan, who is attending another subcommittee. Interfaith Alliance of Iowa opposes SSB 3115. The bill is a dangerous bill that once again attempts to restrict people's reproductive rights, pushing healthcare already hard to access even further out of reach. The legislation does not protect patients or improve their care, but rather will cause harm.
The bill will confuse Iowans in need of reproductive health care and will hinder their ability to make accurate, informed, and personal decisions. Abortion is safe and effective. It's also very common. Overall, about 1 in 4 women in the U.S. will have an abortion by the time they're 45 years old. Medication abortion continues to be the most common form of abortion care for patients nationwide and in our state. This bill will decrease access to legal medicines, forcing women to seek alternative, often less safe avenues or to leave Iowa in search of the care they need. Everyone should have accurate and science-based information about all of their pregnancy options. It empowers people to make decisions about their own health and well-being and take control of their future. We urge you to reject this dangerous piece of legislation.
Senators Schultz and Westrick, Senator Weiner, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm the Reverend Kelly Clement. I serve the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Ames, and I am opposed to this bill. Do you know that in every major religion, there lives the idea that the truth will set us free? This idea that telling the truth to ourselves, to each other, and to our higher power, that way lies freedom and liberation and salvation. And to lie to each other is at least a sin. And really, it is a manipulation of our God-given right to understand our own lives, our God-given right to reason and to make the decisions that are best for us, for our own agency. I'm concerned about SSB 3115 because I really think it's a lie wrapped in an ideology. We've heard that the real goal is to eliminate abortion drugs altogether. This asks healthcare providers to lie to their patients, to tell them falsehoods about this particular bill, to talk about things that are pure fantasy. Abortion reversal is not a thing. It asks providers to say that they're providing medication that they know to be safe as penicillin or Viagra, but with all kinds of other restrictions on them. It asks providers to surveil their patients and a reporting regime, as we heard. This did not originate in Iowa for Iowans. It's part of a nationwide effort to question the efficacy and safety of abortion medication. Here are some truthful questions I think we should be. Did you know that for every woman in Iowa, there are only 4 GYNs? We should be asking if we want to be more of a reproductive. We should be asking if we want more and higher maternal mortality. We should be asking if we want more to other places to practice because of the here. My own story is that I've had 2 abortions in my life. I was a pretty messed up young woman in my 20s with active alcoholism, and I had no business being a parent.